Hey everybody, Andy here. How you doing? Um, Wanted to talk about this personal responsibility. It's something strange happened over the years, um, where everybody's like afraid of growing up. It's like growing up is some big old evil thing, when in reality it's like the coolest thing ever. Taking responsibility for yourself is like it's a mark of greatness. This is part of that whole letting go of all this childish bullshit that you know these childish notions don't work. um, it starts with being responsible for yourself. Adulthood's not something that happens at the age of 16 or 18 or puberty. It's a state of mind when you when you take the responsibility for you as an individual person upon yourself. That's when you're grown up. That's when you're a complete person. Whether you accept that responsibility with like a significant other, a spouse, or some shit like that, um, at the end of the day, it all boils down to, are all your bases covered by you and your spouse? I mean, that's like true freedom where you're in control of your destiny. You're the one in charge of the good and the bad, that you own the bad. We see people all over the place that have like a million different ways to duck out on being responsible or accountable to themselves or for themselves in any way, shape, or form. It's like, well, who took out the trash? Well, nobody. Okay, whose responsibility was it? Everybody's. Um, Yet the trash didn't get taken out. Um, you see it in the workplace where when something goes bad, there's a bunch of people running around figuring out who to blame for it, not figuring out what actually went wrong or how we could make sure that doesn't happen again. Their primary goal and that is to make sure that the responsibility doesn't land with them. This is a very childish notion. Teenagers are very much into that. They want freedom and they want all the stuff that goes with being grown-ups, but they're not ready to do that stuff. Like with toilet paper, everybody thinks they know how to wipe their butt, but you never went and bought toilet paper. You didn't. If you did you buy it with your own money? And did you put it in your own place? And did you make sure you bought it before you ran out? If you did, if you brought the toilet paper to your place in time before you ran out with your own money and then properly wiped your butt, that would be mastery of butt wiping. The responsibility portion is important as the actual act of wiping your butt. All of that adds up to the totality of, hey, you're a grown up, you can handle wiping your butt. Um, you see it in the workplace, you see it in personal life, you see it, turn on Judge Judy or any of those like daytime stupid, uh, you know, court TV or some shit. People are ducking out. It's not my fault. We got the whole. The Republicans want to say that it's all the Democrats' fault. The Democrats want to say it's all the Republicans' fault. Both of them did that stuff. Nobody's taking responsibility for it. This is the mark of like the truly like awesome individuals. Take the responsibility and deal with those problems. When you run a business, if you uh, if you ever ran a small business, at the end of the day, you only have two employees, let's say, and this one's job is to do X, and this guy's job is to do Y, and everything else, yeah, that needs to get done, and it's the owner that does it, or he hires a backroom guy who takes care of all the backroom bullshit. This is like where I've made my bones in every industry I've been in. Is I didn't just do the front door stuff. I did all the stuff in the back room, and that's why the employers loved me. And when I parted company, they're like, "Holy crap, that guy did a lot of shit that we didn't notice." Well, yeah, that's the thing. You need people that are going to actually take the responsibility to make sure it all goes down. This thing where nobody's going to be responsible, okay, that's a system that is doomed for ridiculous amounts of failure consistently. It's going to fail every time without fail. These are the mentalities you see in a lot of the homeless drug addicts down at the park. Nothing's their fault. Nothing's their responsibility. Well, your life's in a shithole and you did nothing about it. The responsibility, yeah, if you don't accept it, nobody's going to accept it for you. It's not my responsibility to make you happy. I couldn't if I wanted to. You're responsible for getting your life into a place where you're happy with it. Like Jordan Peterson says, clean your room. Yeah, that's a good line. Start there. Let's quit ducking out on this responsibility thing, because it's not as scary as you think. Once you take the responsibility, it's actually really, really cool. There's no other way to describe it. I don't have to believe what they tell me at work because I don't need that job. If people tell you at work that, yeah, you need to rip off everybody that comes in here or we're going to fire your ass. We need people who are going to actually make the sales. Well, I don't give a crap on that kind of deal. It's like, look, I'm not going to lie to people for you because I don't believe in lying to people. I'd like to think I'm selling a product that's worthy on merit of being marketable. This idea that, well, no, we're not going to market. We're just going to screw everybody up, and this is not responsible. These are chicken shit ways to duck out on responsibility, whether that be, I couldn't possibly negotiate for a good contract, so I'm going to join this union, and they're going to strong arm and blackmail everybody into giving us more money than we actually deserve. Whoops, that's not going to work. You have to provide a value commensurate with what you're delivering, or society suffers a net negative. We as a society, we all lose. Whereas if people take responsibility for themselves, all of society wins every time people take responsibility for themselves. Quit ducking out on it. Be a grown-up. It's way cooler being a grown-up than somebody just twisting in the wind. If you're not taking responsibility, you're also just dangling around, depending on somebody making everything right as rain for you, because you didn't take the responsibility. It's like in Bartertown, everybody's going to do the math before they eat dinner, because if they didn't do the math somewhere during the day, there's not going to be dinner for them. If you want dinner tomorrow, maybe tomorrow you'll probably do the math. Unfortunately, most people aren't going to figure it out until they start going hungry, and even then they're going to blame somebody else and duck out on the responsibility and stay in the hole they fell into. You find yourself in a hole, stop digging. You want to climb out of it, start taking responsibility. Responsibility is how we get out of this hole. This whole thing where nobody's accountable, nobody's responsible, yeah, bullshit. Because I'm responsible does not mean that everybody gets to pile all of their inadequacies, shortcomings, and basic sloth on me. No. I'm only responsible to me. I'm not responsible for all of you other clowns out there. Y'all need to step up. Life's supposed to suck if you don't step up. If you do step up, it's not going to suck. And that's the way it was in elementary school. It was that way in junior high school. It's always been that way. If you don't step up, you're going to be that kid that's picked last. Don't be that kid that picks last. Do your homework. If you want to be like the football star, you're going to have to go out and practice a lot. If you want to be this, that, or the other thing, you're going to have to work at it. You can't just decide that you should be that and whip out your cell phone and get instructions on how to do that shit off the cell phone, because there's a lot more to it than you're going to find looking in a little screen. It's about responsibility. Taking responsibility for you is just, it cannot be overrated. And where we got this thing where everybody's ducking out on the whole, oh, it's not my fault that my life sucks. Well, what did you do to change that? You know, it would suck to go meet St. Peter and go, hey, my life sucked. Why didn't you wipe my ass? He'd be like, get the fuck out of here.